Hello, Transitional Kindergarten families. Welcome to our Teacher Tip Tuesday. Today I wanted to talk to you about concepts of print and how to teach it to your children or familiarize yourself with some of the techniques that I want you to do when you're reading a story with your students. So the first off is to introduce the book. I want them to know that a book has a front cover, a back cover, a spine. Refer to those terms with your children. Where's the front cover? Can you point to it? Can you point to the back cover? Oh, great. And where's the spine of the book? So they know those what a book, the parts are, and some of the concepts of print. On the front cover, what do we find on the front cover? A title. I have some of these signs in my room, a title. That's the name of the book. Not a box is the title. Can you point to the title? Show me where the title is so they can understand words are on a book. Always on a book are two important people. One person is called the author. And what is the author's job? To write the story. So I always have little posters up with a little pencil. Yep, the author's job is to write the story. And another important person in books is the illustrator. Sometimes the illustrator is the same person as the author, and sometimes it's a totally different person. And what does the illustrator do? Well, they draw the pictures. And when you're doing journal writing, remind them that they will be the authors and illustrators of their own work. So if you use those words enough, they'll start to remember, oh, author, yeah, write the words. Illustrator, draw the pictures. And you can always find that on the book and you can show them, oh, right here, this is the author's name, and tell them what the author's name is. So concepts of print, when you open up a story, make sure that your students know reading is from left to right. Track the words with them, model it. So when I start the story, why are you sitting in a box? I track the words that one-to-one. I show them. I let them touch the words too underneath. So that way they know, oh, words have meaning, and it goes from left to right. Also from top to bottom. We start reading up at the top, then we go towards the bottom. You can point out punctuation marks if they're ready for it. Oh, look at the end of the sentence. It has an interesting mark. What is that mark called? Oh, a question mark, How does the sentence always start? We start with a capital letter. I always call them Captain Capitals, the letters that would start at the end of, or at the beginning of the sentence. So you can tell them, notice that there's spaces between words. We don't push all our words together, there's some spaces. Of course, you're not gonna say this every time, but it's just something to think about. So that way, when they're ready for hearing punctuation, question marks, periods, exclamation marks. When they're ready for that information, they'll have heard it before. All right, so why are you sitting in the box? Now this is a great question. Why is this bunny sitting in the box? And then have your student or your child make the prediction. Why do you think they're sitting in the box? It's not a box. What is it? And have them describe what's going on in the picture here. What is this? This isn't a box. What has he turned it into? A race car. Wow. What are you doing on top of that box? What do you think he's doing? Why is he on a box? Again, they're going to make a prediction. They have to think about it. I don't know. Maybe he's climbing up to get something from the cabinet. Maybe he's gonna jump down. Or maybe it's not a box. Oh my goodness, what's he on top of? A mountain? Oh, look, and it's a peak. That's a good word, peak, the top of a mountain. Wow, look what he did. He's using his imagination to be creative. And so in this story, it's a really great story to make predictions. Why are you squirting a box? Oh my goodness, he's squirting a box. Maybe it's not a box. What could it be? What could this possibly be? And then they could make a prediction. See if they're correct. I said, it's not a box. And you see, it's very predictable, the language. It's very repetitive and predictable. And they're gonna start to get that pattern of the story, and they're gonna start to feel like they could read it. You know, today we did our sight word said. Oh, look at, there's our sight word said right here in the story. So this is a perfect story to read. Oh, and it's the building. It's a building on fire, and he's a firefighter who's pretending to be a firefighter. What imagination he has. So this is a perfect story to read to your children. It's called Not a Box, and it's a series. There's Not a Stick, which is the follow-up to the book, which is wonderful. And at the end of this story, you can draw a couple boxes and then have your child think, what could they change? That really isn't a box. What is it? And then they can change it into something. What do they think it is? Maybe it's gonna be a building. Maybe it's gonna be a flower pot. I don't know. They could probably turn this into some very creative things. But that's what you wanna do with your stories, is you can include it in your journal writing. After you read a story, you can say, oh my goodness, let's draw something like our favorite part of the story, or maybe the character in the story. Or again, like this one, you can have them draw a box and then create something from it. And then you can have them do some dictation, tell you, what is this? And you can model that good left to right, the finger spacing between words, starting with that capital letter, using punctuation at the end, modeling good concepts of print. So that was my little informational teacher tip today about concepts of print. Happy reading, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.